Hello everybody and welcome back to episode 3 of Let's Play Flotsam with me, Scruffy Joe, in a pirate hat with silly hair. At sea, all at sea, nobody knows what's going on. I know what's going on. I've got a perfect clue what's going on. But anyway, on with the show. And the show in this instance is to immediately sail off and grab whatever we find here, which looks like it's going to be some fresh water and possibly some oil. I don't know what to do with oil. Oh, dear we go. Hooray! Right, we have arrived. Ooh, all manner of things. Gosh, that's exciting, isn't it? Firstly, though, let's go and salvage some water, because that's what we've been short of. All the time so far, we have lacked water. So we will immediately send somebody to fix that problem. Next problem, let's have a quick look at this. We have got 81 out of 100. Zero water. So we got lots of stuff. Have we got the right stuff? Possibly not. Got a lot of fish. Can we do anything with those fish? No, not yet we can't. But we will be able to soon. For the minute, we're a little bit limited on what we can do. So what I'm actually going to do is just plonk 2 of these here like that. Just for the extra storage space. And then I think we are going to grab a boat marker, say, hey, go and grab me some more plastic. Then we will grab a fishing marker and say, hey, go and grab me some fish. So that's 2 people gainfully employed, and we've got somebody collecting water. So that's 3 people gainfully employed, which is great. Let's have a quick look at the science again. Ideally, we want solar stills, because then we don't have to waste a whole load of firewood in order to make it, and then we can use our firewood to make food instead of water. Although a desalinator would be absolutely perfect. So, are we going to get points for any of these things? Maybe. So yeah, we are going to have a bit of a water fight. We're not going to have a water fight, you know what I mean. We're going to have a bit of a struggle with water until we get a bunch of solar stills. But we're going to be okay because we're going to just steal a bunch of water from this place right now. We will probably have to just do a bunch more firewood. Just using all of my remaining wood, which is a bit of a problem. We do need some more wood. Wood! I think it's that patch of wood there, isn't it? Go and grab me all of this wood. Thank you. So we have 5 people and we have 3 boats, and that means that we need more boats. At least that's how I look at it. You don't necessarily need a boat per person, but I would say it's handy. It's handy to have as many as possible, really. I mean, don't use all your materials making boats you don't need. That would be stupid. But it is good. You don't necessarily need a lot of people wandering around at this early stage doing stuff on the base. Because, I mean, other than unloading and stuff, sticking things up here, I mean, we need somebody to come and deliver some fish. People are It's kind of slightly chaotic down there. Just been attacked by a bee. Right, everyone's got a bed. We now have plenty of water, but that's only going to last a short while. We don't have any wood at all, but that's going to get sorted out soon. Fish is being dried. People are building new stuff. Yeah. Are you a bee or are you a fly? It's a fly, everyone. It's fine. It's safe to ignore. This is why I'm now going to ignore it, and as a result, a bee's going to come in and kill me. Kill might be a bit of a strong word. Yeah, let's put another one of those there. I like having a marina at one side of my building. It's not necessarily the best idea. There are lots of different ideas. You can build your base in loads of different directions. You can have it in all sorts of clever patterns. In fact, when the game was very, very new at the beginning of the alpha and there were a lot less features, one of the things that we liked to do in the community was kind of just build pretty patterns out of walkways and houses and stuff like that. And there are some really, really fantastic screenshots, but I'm not sure whether most sort of, if you're not in the alpha group, I'm not sure you can see them, which is possibly no good. But anyway, I suppose the lesson there is make your own screenshots. Right, so things are starting to kind of look up a little bit. Plenty of food, some water. Finish that? Good. What about this one? Don't really know what to do with oil, but we're going to go and salvage it anyway. Relatively new things keep happening. How much firewood do we currently have? None? Apparently 2. Oh, none. No, none. We're out of firewood. Okay. It's alright. It would be much, much, much better to get that number to be 10 and then get this. Because you just never run out of water that way. Oh, I've just noticed that I've managed to tie my hair back using a hat. Handy. You gotta love a tricorn hat. I mean, they are the stupidest idea of a hat. I mean, other than potentially a deer stalker. So it does not make any sense at all. I'm pretty happy with how this is going. The guys are all off gathering things. Something's just happened there. We have salvaged that. Great. What we got here? Let's go and scavenge that. We're going to need to build some more walkways and things. Going to need a large area for desalination of water because they are quite large buildings. Probably fit them out here actually. That might work. In fact, that probably will work. Yeah, like 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. They're quite big. You'll see once we get there. For the time being, just are we dealing with it? We're not dealing with all of our fish. We've got 20 fish which are not being dried, and we have a lot of wet wood which is also not being dried. So I think I might need to just stick another one of these up near the beds, because everyone enjoys listening to the sound of water leaving wood through the process of evaporation, which I'm pretty sure is almost silent, but whatevs. We are going to need to do something about water fairly soon. What did we salvage over here? Food and wood, and we got 10 points. Sweet. So we can now unlock that. Yay. And that changes the world because it means that we now don't have to worry about burning all of our wood to make water, because we can simply go doing. We do need a lot more dry wood. Okay. That's alright, because we can do this. Dry wood, please. Thank you, and thank you. Right, now let's find some wood. He's gathering wood. If there isn't very much wood in this location, we have scouted everything, we can always just move on. There's a ton of plastic. Ah! Wood. It's quite local, actually. Go get me that wood. So yeah, we've still got four boats, which is great because it means people will be permanently active. We're not gathering any fish at the minute, but we have got quite a lot of fish. But I will just queue that up. Because we're going to be sticking around a little while to gather all of that wood. There is no point in finishing that, because there's only 2 things. We don't want to send somebody on a boat journey all the way out there for 2 bits of wood, because that would be a massive waste of time. And that's one of these things that this game actually sort of upsets you if you are not paying attention, because you end up going, where's all my blokes? They've all gone off. So right, I don't think we need a distillery anymore because we have a better way of getting water. Because this, although it does make water and it makes water relatively quickly, it does burn through all of your firewood. Having said that, these do not produce water particularly quickly, so you kind of need 1-ish per person. But they'll keep us alive. 4 of them will keep us alive, and that'll be fine. I think what I'm going to do is just say, hey, go build some firewood. And then we'll build some water. Build some water? Yeah, I know what I mean. And that'll be fine. And what I will eventually do is I will reclaim all of these bits and bobs after I've put a 3rd one there, and then I will then put a 4th one there. So what are we missing now? Everything. And that's, I mean, that's alright. It's going to take a bit of time. But we've got people loading in, the wood is drying, other bits are being collected. It all takes time. It's a survival base building game. These games are my absolute love and passion, because you just have to learn the intricacies of the systems and the things which go on underneath, the little undercurrents of resource management, and stuff is missing, and a wonky hat. Yeah, that's better. And I just love it. And I think the guys at Pajama Llama have done a really good job in picking a theme which nobody else had done. Because I mean, if you think about it, you've got all sorts of games which are fairly similar in idea, and so you've got Oxygen Not Included, which you can find as a YouTube series on my channel, which is blokes in an asteroid dealing with problems, and you've got Dawn of Man, which you can find as a YouTube series on my channel, which is basically Stone Age blokes solving problems. And there's all sorts of other ones, similar games like that, which I'm going to remember as I'm sort of sitting here thinking, like RimWorld, for example. Bunch of people trying to survive on a weird science fiction world with nasty monsters and occasional people coming and raiding and trying to kill them. That one's great. It has emergent storytelling, which just sort of interaction between people. It's quite exciting. They haven't got that in this, but that's not a problem, because this has got charm and really funky graphics. Also, there is a massive roadmap for this game. They, although they're early accessing 26th of September, then they've got, I think, a program which currently is sitting at around about a year in terms of stuff they want to implement and add. And that's great news, because I mean, that's what you want from a game. You don't want an early access game where people are just going to go, we've done that now. Yeah, forget about it. We said early access. What we meant was we're giving you half a game forever. That's not going to happen with this. The amount of change that I see, literally, you have to almost relearn the game every fortnight throughout the alpha. It was a really interesting, fun experience. How are we getting on for this? We are short of plastic. Still short of wood, but the wood is drying. We have plenty of wood, we just do not have any plastic. Let's get a boatload of plastic. Like so. Oh, I only have a couple of boys out at the moment. That's probably could do with... let's go and grab that plastic as well, I think. Or at least some of it. Yeah, that'll do. And then that way I should be able to put in another one of these in a minute. He's probably holding plastic, I think. Are you holding plastic? Yeah, baby. Third one of these, and we should hopefully see this number actually sort of stop hovering on 0. Bonk. And then we can go exploring and not have to worry about these things anymore, and gradually build up points and allow ourselves to get access to better food and more things with metal involvement, so we can build houses. It's all great. We're gradually going to get there. And thankfully, though, they haven't implemented weather, so no one's going to mind sleeping on these little beds. They're going to have a perfectly happy time. So once this is built, I will demolish this, which is effectively... I think this is pretty much useless now anyway. Yeah, we are actually just waiting for wood, so I will do this. Salvage that, chaps. How are we doing for space? Ooh, we're nearly running out of space. So let's make a bit more space. Like that. Those will also probably at some stage in the future be replaced. There's quite a large theme in this game, is that when you build a building and it's a bad low-level building, you're definitely going to get the option of taking it down and reclaiming all the stuff. So don't worry too much about building things which are rubbish. There's certain other games which haven't really done that very well. You sort of think to yourself, do you know what? I could just hold on and not build those things, and then ultimately I'll end up with... I won't have wasted the resources. This definitely doesn't work like that. They've actually considered properly the idea of reclaiming your stuff. Nothing is ever really wasted. We should hopefully be sorted out for water, so long as there are people to come over here and empty these bathtubs. It's quite clever, really, and this actually would work in real life. So you open the bottoms of the sea, cover the top in a plastic film. I've seen this. This is actually a genuine survival thing. Water turns to condensation because of heat from the water in the bottom. Dribbles down the sides, collects in this big trough, and then you collect it all in a bathtub. And it's not got any salt in it. I think it might have been someone like Steve Irwin who taught me that. What's that? It's a fish. We run out of space. Are we throwing away fish? No, we're alright. Right, we now have 4 of these things in effect. How long does it take to generate a small amount of fresh water? Should be okay. Everything should now just about balance. We don't need firewood anymore, so that's groovy. Got plenty of dry wood and wet wood, lots of plastic, a bit of metal, some space, some oil, no water, but 4 bathtubs full. 1, 2, nearly full. So I'm just interested to see if 4 of these things is enough to generate enough water. Because what's happening at the moment is that they're emptying a bathtub into here and then immediately drinking. Do you know what? I'm going to go to the next place. If we have to, we'll build another doodah back in. If we have to. Right, I think we get choices at this point. Choices. A seagull or a person? Lonely seagulls need friends too. We do have, this is going to cost us oil now to move. We can, look, if you see, oil moves that way. Wind, we can ignore all of these things and just travel on wind power. So it's kind of, you do have to think about your choices a little bit. extra big chunk of water is going to be handy, and we can get there using one bit of oil and then that's it. Or we can travel down there, but that's 2 bits of oil and then another bit of oil, and we don't know what's over here. Can we move this? Probably not. I don't suppose it matters that much, so we just go and see about getting a seagull. It might not help us at all. But here we are. Oh, there's lots of things. Seaweed. Steve. And a whole absolute ton of metal. Oh, it's cars on a viaduct. I don't know if any of you have been watching, but occasionally you can see through the sea, and other than the whales, there are like houses down there. Trying to find a good example, but I think I might have just arrived in an area where it's not very good for that. So anyway, looks like we have reached the place where we are going to finally get an absolute ton of metal, which means we might potentially be able to start building some houses. I've got a feeling this boat might have broken. I also have a feeling I might have lost boats. I think I've lost a boat by moving while it wasn't in a dock, which is slightly annoying. So let's just fix that situation by building a replacement. Which one was it? It was a salvage boat. Or have I not built one? Oh, that's interesting. We've got some issues. And that's fine. Issues are to be expected because it's an early alpha game. When you see it, it won't be an early alpha game, it will be an early access game. And they are spending the next 2.5 weeks without adding any additional content to the game. They're literally just going to do bug fixes. So what you're watching at the moment is me playing on the version which hasn't had 2.5 weeks of bug fixes. So bear with it. Don't get cross. I'm not going to get cross. I'm just going to carry on enjoying it. I am going to call an end to this episode though, because I need a comfort break because I've now been recording for about an hour and a half. I'm having a great time. I will be back in about 10 minutes. You're not going to... There'll be a space. I don't need to tell you what I'm doing. It doesn't make any difference. But yeah, thanks for watching so far. I hope you're still enjoying it. I am. I'm loving this game. I'm really, really, really pleased to be able to share it with you before anybody else can. That's very exciting for me. And I will see you again soon with a little bit more. A little bit more playing with metal is about to happen. Thanks very much. See you soon. Bye-bye.